Hey friends, today I will be covering the very popular Rasasi Hawas lineup and that also includes the original Hawas. I will be ranking them and that will be totally my personal opinion and your ranking may vary altogether. In fact, I would love to see your order of preference. And yes, I will cover all those fragrances that I currently have, not the ones which are not yet released and of course not the ones which I don't really have. And now even more Hawas flankers are going to be released. At this point I don't think I should call them flankers anymore because some of the Hawas fragrances are so different from each other. They don't have any common essence among them. And of course Rasasi is looking to mint money with the popularity of Hawas. And if you are new to my channel and you love fragrance related content, do consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. Let's start this video then. At number 6, I would place the latest Rasasi Hawas fragrance that I have added to my collection, and it is the Hawas Tropical. While looks can be subjective, I personally find the bottle to be the most beautiful in the Hawas lineup. But sadly, I am not a big fan of how this perfume smells. On the first day that I got this fragrance, I found out to be very synthetic. And not only me, the people around me had the same experience. After a month, it had certainly got much better, but still that coconut accord is very synthetic, and personally, I don't find it to be very natural. I would prefer the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau Le Parfum or the Khadlaj Island over this fragrance any day. I would definitely not recommend you to blind buy this fragrance. Check it yourself and see whether you like this fragrance or not. Everybody's preference of fragrances are very different and I totally respect that. But for me, this has to be at number 6 on this list. If you absolutely want to try a coconut based fragrance, I would recommend you to try the Le Beau Le Parfum or the Khadlaj Island, both of which I have reviewed on my channel, and if you want to check them out, I would put it on the top I button. At number 5, I would like to place the Hawas Fire. I personally find this fragrance to be much better than the Hawas Tropical, and since I have not done a full review of this fragrance, I am letting you know what I am getting from this fragrance. At the beginning it's sour and citrusy along with some sweetness, reminding me of some fruity elements like cherries and apples. There is also a sugary element in here. This perfume is supposed to be inspired from the Jisa Imperial Valley, but I haven't tried that fragrance. But I do find the scent profile to be very similar to the Paris Corner Care, but that one is slightly less sweeter and a bit more darker than this one. This one on the other hand has a smoky attribute with a little bit synthetic oud nature in it. On the performance front, I get about 7 to 8 hours of longevity along with good projection for the first 1.5 hours. Compliment factor is also good with this perfume, but I feel that other Hawas fragrances are much better than this one. The slightly mineralic and metallic smell of this fragrance is slightly off-putting for me, and if you are getting this fragrance for under 2500 Indian rupees, you can certainly go for it. On the 4th rank, I would like to put the original Rasasi Hawas, the fragrance that started it all. This one has been reviewed by many fragrance reviewers and it is certainly one of the most popular mass appealing fragrances. If you like aquatic sweet fragrances with little bit of fruitiness with a touch of aromatic spices, then you are going to absolutely love this scent profile. Also, one thing to note here, this one came before Invictus Aqua, so this one is not a clone of that fragrance. However, it did take some element from the original Invictus and gave it a fresher twist. The prices has also stabilized around the 2000 Indian rupees mark, and now I can easily recommend this fragrance. The performance I get from this fragrance is still good. I would say expect around 1.5 hours of projection and around 6 to 7 hours of longevity. Overall a good everyday scent, though slightly youthful, and I think that it is pretty unisex. Overall rating would be a safe blind buy. On the 3rd rank, I would pick the Rasasi Hawas Black. This perfume is inspired from the Nisani Hachiwa, and I feel that this fragrance is the furthest from the entire Hawas lineup. This one is the least sweet perfume among the Hawas flankers and also compared to many other pineapple based fragrances. It opens up with that familiar pineapple smell along with little bit of citruses, which will definitely remind you of Creed Aventus and of course the Nisani Hachivat. And once this perfume starts to dry down, it gets very mossy, green and woody. There is a touch of sweetness from the amber but not much, making it the most mature Hawas perfume and also suitable for office scenarios. Check out my full review of this fragrance where I have covered it in depth. Well, now we move on to the top 2 fragrances of this list, and I have picked the Hawas Ice for the second fragrance of this list. This is also the first Hawas fragrance that I have reviewed on my channel. It definitely took the original Hawas DNA, made it more refined and clean, and made it a touch smooth as well. It opens up with a hint of minty note, and once again there is some fruity aspect in this, but the thing is the sweetness from the tonka beans is much more prominent in this one. This one is slightly less aquatic, I would say, but it does have that that ambrox and giving it that push. None of the Hawas fragrances I have reviewed till now, or for that matter any fragrance in my Hawas collection, has performed badly. They are always at least above average. This one is no different either. It has good performance, especially considering it is a fresh fragrance. Once again, if you are interested in this fragrance, I would highly recommend you to check the full review. And finally, the top pick among all the Hawas fragrances. And since all the fragrances are gone, the remaining one is of course the Hawas Elixir. This perfume is inspired from the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mal Elixir. Rasasi has taken the same DNA and have added a small little twist onto that. It is slightly more chocolatey and more sweet as well. It has that fresh mint note, sweet tonka beans, the aromatic and slightly powdery lavender, and finally the dense chocolatey sweetness. There is also a touch of tobacco in here, but that is very smooth and remains in the background behind all of the sweetness of this fragrance. This perfume is definitely more suitable for cooler weather. It has fantastic performance and a very strong projection for the first 2 hours. Easily the strongest Hawas fragrance I have in my collection. This is a cologne that I would recommend for clubbing or even date nights as well if you are careful with spray routine. This is also my most complimented Hawas fragrance in this list. I would love to read your thoughts on this list, and I would also love to know what would have been your ranking for all these Hawas fragrances and which one is your favorite. If you like this video, hit that like button and do consider subscribing to this channel for even more fragrance related videos. So that's it for today's video. I will meet you all in my next video. Till then, stay safe and as always, stay honest.